Hi, my divas. It's Krista here. This is going to be probably my second ever makeup tutorial, so I really hope you guys like it. This is just an everyday look that I use with a golden eyeshadow and a deep lip. Very natural, very stunning. Something that I'm really just going to apply to go to work and really feel gorgeous about myself. And it's something that if I wasn't explaining, I can easily do in about 15 minutes. So it does use a lot of more expensive products. You can sub a lot of cheaper products. I love both, but today is really just something that I would apply on my way out the door. So I hope you guys like it. Stay tuned and you're going to see the entire look. I love you guys. Really pretty. So far the first thing I've done, I've already done this, is I've put the Clinique Clarifying Lotion 2 for dry combination skin on a cotton pad, and I've wiped it all over my face. That has allowed me to get all the excess oils off, any old makeup that maybe didn't come off last night when I removed my makeup, anything that was left over on the skin that's gonna keep your makeup from going on smoothly, I have now removed, and we're going to start fresh. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm actually applying the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion, and I'm just going to put a very small amount on. I find with this, if you put too much on, it really leaves a film over your face. It works really, really well. I love this moisturizing lotion. It's $36. It's beautiful. I've already got my second one ready for when I run out, because God forbid I run out and not have any. And I put this like 2 pumps on at night, but during the day, you don't just want enough to keep your skin really nice and moisturized and give you a really beautiful glow. And keep you from drying out from the other products that you're going to be using. So that's that. Bring it down your neck a little bit. Make sure it's really rubbed in well. Okay. So once we're done with that, we are going to grab the I have the Marc Jacobs Coconut Water Primer. It is absolutely beautiful. Let me show you this. Okay. This is the Invisible Undercover Perfecting Coconut Face Primer. And I love this primer, especially in the summer. It is really moisturizing. You can honestly use this as your moisturizer if you want to skip a step. It really smooths out those fine lines and wrinkles. Uh-oh, I'm dropping things. Go, guys. An idea. It's also the only primer out there that is proven to make your makeup last longer. And I work in a restaurant, so to have something that's going to be kind of sweat proof and really, really help you keep your makeup on is great. So I just apply this with my fingers to really warm it up and work it into the skin. Avoiding my eyelids. I have my own eyelid primer. We're going to use that separately, and it's just going to kind of help us to keep it from creasing extra. We don't want to add too much product onto the eyelids that you don't need, and this is not a product that we necessarily need to have on our eyelids. So the next product I'm going to apply is my foundation, and I absolutely love this foundation. This is the Josie Maran Vibrancy Fluid Foundation. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is made, again, with coconuts and Moroccan oil and things like that. It's super nourishing, and this is in the shade Mystical RG30. So it's sort of a tanner. It's not like my lighter shades back there. Most of my foundations now are probably not going to get worn again until probably the end of summer, unless I really find some drops or something that I can darken them up a little bit with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I apply it to my finger, sort of in a line like this. I love the lid too. It's like blue on the inside, gold. It's just gorgeous. They apply beautifully. It's also got gorgeous packaging. Like, who does not want that on their shelf? Like, it's just beautiful, and it's not like a piece of paper that's around it that's actually the glass. It's just gorgeous. So then I'm just going to apply it in dots all over my face. Then nose, on your chin, temples. There we go. So once you get that, I'm actually going to use my Pure Cosmetics. This is a lot like the Artiste brushes. They're oval, they're flat. This one needs cleaning really bad, but we're just going to make it work for today. So I'm actually just going to use my Naturals palette as a mirror for this. And you're just going to take it and you're going to start with the top of the nose and move it across and down. And you're going to pull it and really rub it in circular motions all over your face, so that it's applied evenly. There's no weird lines, there's no heavy or thick spots. So. I could really do a clean this. I really like this palette because the mirror is just so huge that I can really do anything with it. There we go. Once that's all rubbed in and even, I'm going to apply some bronzer. So I'm going to apply my bronzer just underneath the cheekbone. So if you find your cheekbone, which is, mine are really high, so it's up here, you're going to go just underneath it. So you're going to put it right here, and you want to do it on an angle. If you do it straight, you're really going to make your face look wider. If you do it on an angle, you're going to slim your face and make it a little longer. So we're going to do that. So bring it up and down. Don't forget to do a little bit on the forehead and just frame your face a little bit. I'm going to double check how that looks because I can't see well in the camera. Okay, so next thing we're going to apply is our blush, and the blush that I'm choosing to use today is the MAC Plum Foolery Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is a very natural plum color. Really, really allows you to accentuate your face a little bit. And you're going to do the same kind of motion, but you're going to apply it right on top of the cheekbones, starting at the apples of your cheeks and pulling upwards. And you're going to, again, do it on an angle, so it's bringing it to the temple. Otherwise, again, you're going to make your face look wider, and what you really want is to thin your face out a little bit. So I'm just going to use this. So we're going to use upward motions, bringing it to the temple. Just like that. It's really beautiful, light shimmer, and it really allows you to lengthen your face. This is particularly good for people with an oval face, but it's a little, like, leaning towards a rounder face. Do the same on this side. Okay. Now, I'm choosing not to use concealer. I don't find, for me, I have a whole lot of issues. I'm only 22 years old, so I don't have a whole lot of issues with any concealing under the eyes or anything, so I just kind of choose to go without. And it works enough for me. There we go. So that is the blush application. It's really, really nice. If you want to, you can apply just a little bit on the top of your forehead. I do like to apply just a little bit at the base of my hairline. I think that's applied evenly. So that is our blush. It is beautiful. I love the shade. I wear it all the time. I definitely would recommend it to absolutely anyone. MAC blushes are actually one of my favorite things. I have a kind of a love-hate relationship with their shadows, but their blushes are beautiful. So the next thing I'm going to apply is my highlighter. So this is my favorite highlighter. It is absolutely gorgeous. It really, really amps up the skin. It gives you some more dimension, and it's got a pretty color to it, especially when you put it over this. I had this other blush, Spring Sheen, which is more leaning towards a peach blush. That's really just not as nice of a match with this particular highlighter. So this is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Amethyst, Prismatic Amethyst, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to show you this open. And I've been using this for a while, but you can still kind of see that there are designs in there. I use it all the time. A little goes a very long way. And I'm just going to use, this is my Tarte fan brush. There's no number, it's just the Tarte fan brush. Really beautiful. And I'm just going to sweep it into there, just lightly grab some product, and then we're going to sweep it onto the top of the cheeks, on top of the blush, and move it again right up to the top of the temples on a slight angle. If you want, you can also move it up to the sides of your eye, so you can just add a little bit more dimension. Just going to grab a bit more. There we go. So we're really highlighting the entire eye area. You can do the same thing again with the other side. Just allowing you to get a really, really beautiful shimmer to your face. Other places you can highlight the bridge of the nose, the cupid's bow, your chin, and the top of your forehead. I choose not to go on the chin. I really don't like highlighting my chin. I don't feel like it's necessary, so I don't. I actually forgot to grab my MAC. Okay guys, so now that I'm back, I've grabbed the Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extended Eye Base by MAC. See, there we go. It is a really beautiful eye primer. It really does last 24 hours. It's basically waterproof. I could wear this and put my eyeshadow over it and jump in the lake, and it would still be absolutely gorgeous. I absolutely love this product. It's $24, but this has lasted me almost a year. I bought this last September, and it is now June, and there is still a decent amount of product because you really, really don't need a lot, and I do use this every day. This is my go-to primer. I don't have any others. I just use this one. So when I apply it, I just apply a very small amount to a finger, and then I expand that product between two fingers so that there's an even amount between the two hands, and I just rub it into the lid. You can apply, first I applied this with a brush, which you can do. I just find that if you apply it with your finger, it allows you to really warm up the product and for it to seep into your eyelid and actually be able to get the most out of the product. Otherwise, it kind of sits funny and you're just sort of sitting there with an extra thickness. This is really allowing it to absorb into your skin. So what I'm going to do is I love this. This is the Too Faced Ultimate Naturals Eyeshadow Collection, and I bought this for the reason that I thought this would be great. I travel a lot and I love traveling. The problem is when you're traveling a lot and you absolutely love makeup like I do, and you have a lot of different looks that you want to do, you sometimes don't have all the shades on the colors that you want to have so that you can get the most out of your makeup look and how you feel every day. So I know there was a lot of hype about this for a long time and it's sort of gone out of style again, but I'm going to bring this back just for the sake of this video, and I'm going to show you these colors. These are absolutely gorgeous. There are, I believe, 30 shades in here. There are 30 shades in here. That was a silly question. And they range from really light to dark, and you can really use and mix and match them. There's some gorgeous colors, like this one here is called Bunny Nose. I believe this one right here is Cutie Patootie, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Give me a swatch. So you can kind of see, I don't know, on my wrist that they're there. You have a few darker shades as well. So like Stiletto is like a deep, deep, deep black shade. Here's the back of my hand. It really allows you to get a darker, more pigmented look. Now I have a very dark finger. One of my favorites is this one right here. It's along the middle. It's called Love Bug. It's sort of a purple, but it really, when you blend it in well, it really leans towards a very natural, neutral shade of purple. It's this one right here, and it's a shimmer shade, and I love shimmer shades. They really bring more dimension. The problem is as you get older, the shimmer shades are going to sink into wrinkles, so you really have to be careful about what you're applying as you get older. They also have some beautiful light colors, and I really think we're going to go with some golder shades today. So we're going to be kind of sticking towards shades like Nudie, which is right here. We're going to be using Fairytale, Honey Pot, and probably Chocolate Martini or Spoilt, and maybe Little Dear Diary if we really feel the need to add a little extra dimension into the crease. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a really good crease shade, and I don't really have like the best brushes. This is one thing that like, it's really hard to find a really good brush that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So this is actually one of my favorites. I got this on eBay. This is by Mange, and it's just a really beautiful brush. It works really well. It's got a really heavy bristle to it. It really does need cleaning right now, but we're just going to use it because I use it in this shade all the time. This is kind of its main use. I'm going to stick it right here in Nudie, and then I'm going to apply it just into the crease with very small, I'm going to turn this around so I can use the mirror, with small brush strokes just to allow us to get a little bit of dimension and a transition shade. Okay, so now we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to move this a little bit and get you a little closer on the other side, and you're just going to bring it so that you have a bit of a transition shade again. Grab a little bit more product, tap off the excess. You don't want a lot of product. You can always layer in more. I'm going to be using quite a few other shades as well, so don't worry too much if you don't feel like you have enough product in there. Okay. So now I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to grab a really nice, this is the Still Spa Essentials, and this is a eyeshadow blender, and I'm actually going to use this to apply a all over shade to the top of the lid. This is a really, really beautiful brush. I got this at Walmart. It was relatively cheap, but it has really nice soft bristles that I find really move to help blend the product really nicely in. So I'm going to be using the shade right here, and it's called Honey Pot. And we're just going to grab a little bit on the end of the brush, and we're going to sweep it all over the top of the lid. This is sort of a satin shade. It's not really overly shimmery, but it does have a bit of a sparkle to it and make it be a little bit more glam. There we go. Okay, so the next shade we're going to apply, I'm going to use my Quo Crease Shadow Brush. And we're going to be taking the shade, I think we're going to start with Dear Diary, which is down here. Right underneath Bunny Nose is Dear Diary. And we're going to just grab a little bit of the product, tap off the excess, and we're going to apply it into the outer crease. We're going to apply it quite high up because we're going to use a slightly darker shade to apply a bit more of a shadow in there. And it's going to be a little bit more directed. So we're just going to apply this to the entire crease and go almost up to the eyelid, but we are going to apply a highlighter up there, so don't put it quite all the way up to the lid. So now we're going to grab some more Dear Diary. Again, tap off the excess, and we're going to go to the other eye. So we're doing a very similar motion, just bringing it from the top of the lid all the way to the upper eye. There we go. So the next shade I'm actually going to apply, I think, I might just use the same brush because I'm really going to blend it into the same shade. So I'm just going to use the same brush again. I'm not going to worry too much. And I'm going to pick the shade Chocolate Martini, which is right here. And I'm just going to grab a very little bit. We don't want to use a lot of this because it is a very dark shade. And we're going to apply it to just the inner crease. The outer crease, I mean, not the inner crease. Right to the back end of the corner. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Making sure they match as well as possible. And then, here we go. The next shade I'm going to apply is I'm actually going to use this guy right here. So this is an angled shadow brush. I really like this brush. I find it's really good for a lot of things. I can fix up any problems that I might see with the eyeshadows, but I think they're applied very well right now. But what I'm going to do for this right now is I'm going to take it and I'm going to dip it into the Chocolate Martini shade, and I'm going to shade out the lower lash line. I like this brush for that because it allows me to really get in there, but it gives me a lot of control. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a regular shadow brush, and I'm going to grab the shade Fairytale, and we're going to use it to kind of almost highlight the inner corner, but with a little bit of a glitter sparkle to just really add a little bit of extra dimension. Just tap it on and buff it out a little bit. You don't want to buff it out too far, and you don't want to go above the crease. You just want to stay right on the inner corner of your eye. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, don't go above your crease. Just stick to the lower corner of your eye. There we go. Probably just a little bit more. There we go. I do not have a studio. I just do this in my room. So the real effects of this are really, really not the best. For me to be able to see from the angles that I'm at. Usually I'm like right close to my mirror so I can really see everything. But this is really, in order for you guys to get the idea, I have to sit kind of over here. I've got a bunch of lights on and we're really trying to make this work. So I'm sorry guys if the quality really isn't there, but we are trying. So the last shade I'm actually going to apply is I'm going to take my Stila brush. This is actually the smudger brush, so you can actually use this to blend in your concealer. I actually quite like this to put underneath the eyebrow as a highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color and I'm going to use the first shade in this palette, and it's called Heaven. And I'm going to bring it right above the eyeshadow and as a matte highlight, because you do have a lot of shimmer in the look already. So just apply it as a little bit of a matte highlight above underneath the brow. There we go. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to apply our eyebrows. I have to say, like, this is one of my absolute favorite, all-time favorite products, and this is the NYX Eyebrow Cake Powders. I've had this for a while. I've bought this a couple of times. I love NYX. I really do. I know a lot of the products I've used today have been a little bit higher end, but I do own quite a bit of lower end makeup. So I've got a lot of NYX. I really love NYX, Maybelline, a bit of CoverGirl, not a whole lot. I actually am not a huge fan of CoverGirl. L'Oreal Paris is one that I have a lot of. But tonight I've really just gone and used kind of like, this is my more everyday look, and I know it's using a lot, but like, I really do find that with like foundation, things like that, you really go a long way with quality. Whenever I buy a cheaper foundation, it just really does not work well. So the first thing what I'm going to do is this comes with a wax and 2 shades. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my brush. I use an angled eyeliner brush to actually do this. I find it works really, really well. And I'm going to grab a bit of the wax, and then we're going to grab the colors. Now, I find that a lot of the second shade and just a tiny little bit of this lighter shade is really what works for me. And then when you're applying your eyebrows, you want to start at the end and then work inwards, especially if you're using a powder product. So we're going to take it and we're going to kind of line the lower line, and you're just going to make little brush strokes to get to the point where you want it, and you're going to start outwards and work back. Do not start in the middle and work back. You're just not going to get the same shape. You're going to lose control a lot faster, and by working the other way around, it allows you to use smaller strokes and give you more definition and look. So I'm just going to grab a little bit more, and we're going to apply a bit here. There we go. So now that's one done, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Small strokes starting at the outer edge and really getting in there and working your way up. One thing I like with this product is it smudges really, really well. So if you do mess up, you can just kind of smudge it out a little bit and bring it to the point where you want it, and bring it to a point. I know a lot of people really like to do this before their eye look, but I really do like to apply my eye look first. It gives me an idea of more, and it keeps me from getting like my highlight into the shades and into the colors, which I really don't want. There we go. Oh, that was a little low. Okay. So there's our brows. Now, I don't actually have an expensive liquid eyeliner. I just don't feel the need to own a really expensive one. So I feel like one day I will, but right now I don't. What I have right now is this is the Gosh Intense Liner liner pen in 01 black. So this isn't really expensive. You can get it at Shoppers Drug Mart or anywhere else. It's really beautiful though. I love the felt tip. It's kind of a pen shape, and you just get a really nice thin long black line. And I find you do have a lot of control. So I'm just going to take this now, and we're going to put a little bit of a wing, but I don't like too harsh of a wing when I have to go to work. So I'm just going to put a light wing onto the top of your eyelid. You ready? So we're going to start from the inner corner and work our way over. Brush it right along the lash line, and then when you get to the end, work it upwards and then work it outwards. Just like that. Connect this to the outer edge of the eye. I do not like taking any dark colors onto my lower waterline. If I can avoid it, I really, really will. Dark colors down there make your eyes look smaller, and the idea is to brighten and widen the eyes a little bit. Apparently I do need a new pen though. Now we're going to do the other eye. And we're going to work really, really hard to keep this as even as we can. Apparently it's running more now. I don't even know. Still connected to your lower line, but you still want it to be not harsh on the bottom of your lower line. So there's a basic wing. It's not too heavy. I just bring it out to extend the eyes outwards a little bit, open them up a little bit more. That's all my attention is, and I really find that by doing this, you're also framing the eyeshadow, which makes the eyeshadow look a little less kind of like hungover. Your eyeshadow really does not look nice until you put the finishing steps on it, and this is a really, really big one. I always line my eyes with something, and I really do love the liquid eyeliners. I used to be a huge gel liner fan, but my gels kept drying up. They don't last long, and maybe just because I was always using L'Oreal Paris, but like, I don't know. I just didn't find they were working as great as I would have liked them to. So the last thing I'm going to do for my eyes is I'm going to apply some mascara. This is the 3D Extra Dimension Mascara by MAC. I do like this mascara, except for the fact that the minute you get it wet, you will look like a raccoon. So if you're going to be doing any crying, or if it's going to be raining, or it's going to be super wet and humid, do not apply this because it will literally be everywhere. If it's a summertime and you're going to the beach, definitely don't apply it. You shouldn't be going to the beach in makeup anyway. And if you're going into a hot tub, do not apply this. You will sweat, you will have humidity, and you're going to have it everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply it to the inside of the eye, and we're going to do a little bit of a vibration going upwards and really fan them out a little bit. This eye mascara I really like because you can build it up a lot and give yourself a little bit of extra control with it. So it really is beautiful. You just need to know what you're applying and how you're applying it. And you do the same thing on the other side. There's really no way of applying this and looking good at the same time. Your mouth's gonna open, you're just not. Applying mascara is not a beautiful thing. Vibrate it slightly along the lower lash lines. I try to stick to the outside of the lower lower lashes. I don't like going too far on the inside. It really, really ages you a lot. And I prefer a bit more of a winged effect to go with the wing of the eyeliner. Okay, so my last step is going to be to apply this lipstick. This is the Tarte Rainforest lipstick. This is my absolute go-to lipstick right now. I love this shade. I love dark berry shades, and this is in the shade Berry Mojito, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, I need a hand. We're going to swatch this really quick for you. It wears beautifully. It's thick, it's creamy, it's super, super pigmented, and it's super gorgeous. So I'm going to apply this onto my lips, because I've already put a balm on them before I started. Go. And it's just really, I find it finishes the look, it ties everything together. And the absolute last thing we're going to do now is I'm going to apply a finishing spray. This is my go-to one right now. This is another Josie Maran product. Again, it's got lots of essential oils. It's cold pressed coconuts. It is gorgeous. And who doesn't want this bottle on their vanity? Like, it is just absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to apply this to my entire face. And it's one of these, it's got a pump and it's almost like an aerosol, but it pumps really slowly, and I find just a couple of nice sprays onto our face and wave your hand a little bit and you have a beautiful look. This smells amazing, it feels amazing on your face. It's got a lot of product in here. It is, I think it says 320 fluid ounces. No, 3.2 fluid ounces. See, I can't read. I think, I don't know. Almost 100 mils. Maybe 60 fluid ounces? I think that might be right. 3.20 fluid ounces. I don't know. I don't know how this works, but it's beautiful. It's a little expensive, but I find it works really well. And it also pairs super, super well with the foundation. You put these two products together and it's going to last all day. So, and I really do prefer a setting spray over a setting powder. I find the setting powder can make you look, really wash you out, really bring a lot of whiteness to your skin that you don't need. Anyway, this is the finished look. Let me know what you think in the comments. I will be linking or mentioning every single product I've used here today in the comments. Let me know if you want to see more of these videos. I love you guys. Have a DIVAmazing day.